One thing all of us racers have in common, we all want to be faster. Doesn't really matter what you drive, we're all limited by the same rules. The question is, do you know what those rules are? iRacing Faster is a regular series of videos that'll show you my training routines, so we can learn to be faster together. If you're interested in following this series, you'll find all of the videos on my YouTube channel. See you on the track. So, just to illustrate the level of consistency we're going for, you can see here on lap 6 we ran a 1:25.9 and then a 1:25.6. So let's say anything that's within half a second is a tick. So 25.6 and 25.7. Now you'll notice 25.6 and 0.7, that's half a second I've dropped. So I've taken my ultimate speed and dropped it by a percentage to get to this level. Now it really doesn't matter if you're on this particular track in this car running 1:27 or 28s or 30s. It doesn't matter, this is just a process, and you need to make sure that when you do these training sessions that you never fall into that terrible situation where all you're doing is going round and round and round and hoping that something good's going to come from it. So I dropped my performance, I'm down into the mid 125s. I've done a 25.6, a 25.7, another 25.7, a 25.8, and then for the end of the session I started making a small change, which in this particular case was trying to get down an extra gear on this straight that you're looking at now. So changed down another gear, got on the gas at the same point and used the extra acceleration that I got from a lower gear to get me through that corner quickly, and the extra time that that created going right along the straight and through the next corner accumulated to dropping the lap time by around about 0.3 say. So I got a 0.3 second gain from that, and tested that on the next lap. So you can see that these two laps here we're looking at a 1:25.3 and a 1:25.3. So there's 0.02 difference between those two laps. So in terms of consistency, let's have a look and just very quickly see in a visual sense what that level of consistency is when it comes to the track. So within the car, you're always trying to work out reference points. Now reference points are important so that you can repeat over and over again. Okay, so in real terms, I'm making a mental note that I need to be braking where the top of these is around the top of the wheel. Okay, it doesn't matter what it is, you just have to find something that you can refer it to, so that as they come past that level on the next lap, that within a very, very close distance that you can hit the brakes at the same point. So you're going to be braking in a straight line. You're going to be looking at this point here to hit the apex, and that's going to involve at some point you actually making a turn to go through this corner. So your second reference point, and you're only really looking for this reference point with your peripheral vision, by which I mean if you're staring at that point there, your eyes can still see this point here, but it's right from the edge of your eye. So you're not staring at it, but you can see it from the edge of your eye. So you're looking at your apex point, but being aware of your turn-in point. So if we run that through, okay, so my turn-in point is around here, just when the wheel starts to change. So my turn-in point, my reference on my wheel for where to start turning is when this patch of concrete gets to the top of my wheel. That means that from a braking point I can repeat it From the point at which I start turning in, I can repeat it, but my eye is always looking at my apex, and that will help me automatically work out the correct line, and it will also help me with the fact that I want to get back on the gas somewhere before this apex. So we roll through the So here we're already looking at this almost danger area on the track, this apex area around the corner, this next left hand corner. I'm positioning the car and I'm trying to use the little bit of extra track that we've been given here, so I'm trying to get the wheels over here, and I need to do this corner as gently as I possibly can. So again, because you're worried about this particular corner, it's very easy to start staring in front of the car and working out what's happening in front of it. But I promise you, if you shift your view over here, the whole process of getting round here smoother becomes much more automatic. So if we walk through this particularly slowly, so the brakes are coming on, I've got the steering wheel as straight as I feel I can, bearing in mind this is a corner where you're braking and turning. Gentle with the wheel, leaving a little bit of gas on to stop the back end from drifting out, and also keep the revs of the car up so that when I want to get back on the gas it doesn't throw the back of the car out at the same time. Letting the car almost roll round the corner. So I've got off the brake, and during the tricky part of the corner I'm letting the car be as balanced as it can by not braking and accelerating at the same time. So rolling out through the corner. And on to the next one. So if we rewind a sec and we look at it in a slightly different view, just so you can see exactly to what degree of consistency are we talking. Okay, I'll move the thing until you just see the brake coming on. So the brakes just come on there. Switch to a view where you can see above. And you'll notice there that the brake light is about to come on. Okay, one more notch up here and the light will come on. And if you look at the shadow of the tree, the back of the car is almost aligned with where this part of the shadow comes out. Okay, it's very close to that. So the back of the car runs across there. Now if we go and have a look at lap 12, and again going back to basics here, if we're doing the same thing in every one of the corners over and over again, that means that the speed that we're coming down the straight should be very consistent. The speeds that we're going through corners should be very consistent. So in real terms, we shouldn't be having to adjust for coming out of a corner even faster than we normally do, because it should be the same all the time. So it would make sense that on lap 12, so there's the start of lap 12. And the cones are coming up. There you go. We'll rewind to when the light comes on. So if we take it one back from the light coming on, which is where we were before, you can see from a consistency point of view, there's your shadow and there's your line, that in real terms that we've started braking probably within one wheel widths of what we did on the previous lap. So it's showing you that, you know, you could almost put a sheet of paper down on the ground and be stopping at the same point on that sheet of paper lap after lap after lap. Now don't worry if you start off and your distance between your laps is like that. or even if it's like that. Okay, if the more space that you see between laps on those key braking or key turn-in points, the more inconsistent that you're driving. So don't dismay if you're seeing a big gap like that. Just bear in mind that as you go through and you do these training routines, that's going to become smaller and smaller and smaller. And you could probably say that the really fast guys, that they're stopping within that on almost every corner as they go through that process. So there you go. So all about consistency, all about trying to get your lap times like that rather than up and down and up and down. So if you enjoyed this, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel, and then you'll get a message, or it will pop up on your mainstream page every time a new one of these episodes is released. And if you have any suggestions in terms of other aspects of iRacing that you'd like to cover, then please just let me know in the comments. I understand not everybody's going to agree with my particular method, and that's all I'm doing is sharing what I do. But if you could make sure that your comments are as constructive as possible, then I'll certainly try and take your views or your requests on board. So thanks very much. Enjoyed your company, and see you next time on iRacing Faster.